All right. Welcome back, everyone, to the deep dive. We're going to be tackling something pretty cool today. We're going to be taking a look at dynamic arrays in Microsoft Excel.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah, so no matter how much you know or don't know about Excel, this is going to be, I think, really cool for everyone.
Definitely.
So for beginners out there, I think this will help demystify what sounds kind of complex.
Absolutely.
But for our expert listeners who are already Excel wizards, well, I think you're going to discover some powerful new tools that maybe you didn't even know existed.
Yeah, and they're really game changers.
That's what I've heard. I'm excited to dive in. From what I've read, these features actually can make complex calculations way easier than they used to be. And from what I understand, you can basically do the impossible now in Excel.
That's right.
So I'm really excited to hear what you have to say about it.
All right. Well, first of all, I think we should start off by just explaining what dynamic arrays actually are.
Okay.
Because the name itself is a little intimidating.
Yeah, it sounds complicated.
Right. It sounds very technical and complex, but it's actually a really simple concept. So just imagine a formula that instead of just giving you one answer in one little cell, right, it spills its results. It just kind of flows over into multiple cells automatically.
Okay, so it's not confined to a single cell anymore.
Exactly. It's dynamic.
I like that.
So it can expand and contract based on your data. And that is really the key benefit here. It makes using advanced formulas a lot easier and less intimidating because you don't have to worry about manually selecting ranges of cells or copying and pasting formulas over and over again.
Yeah, because that's the part that always trips me up in Excel. I can never remember what I did or where I copied things from. So it sounds like this would actually streamline that process quite a bit.
It definitely does. So if you think about how we used to work with complex formulas in the past, you would often have to use multiple steps. You'd have to create these helper columns, and the formulas themselves would become these really long and complicated strings of functions that were difficult to understand.
Yeah, and then if you go back a few weeks later, you're like, wait, what did I even do here?
Right, exactly. What is this mess?
Exactly.
But with dynamic arrays, it's all much more concise and readable and easier to manage.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I saw that there were a whole bunch of new functions that come with dynamic arrays, like filter, unique, sort by a sequence single, and rand array. Where do we even begin?
Yeah, that's a lot of new functions.
I know there's so many.
But they all work together really well to make your life easier.
Great.
So let's maybe just pick a couple of them to focus on today.
Yeah.
So how about we start with filter?
Okay, filter sounds good.
So imagine you have this massive customer database, right? Thousands and thousands of rows of data.
Yeah.
And you want to pull out just a specific list of customers who meet a certain criteria. Maybe they're from a particular region or they've spent over a certain amount of money.
Okay. Yeah, I've definitely had to do that before.
It's a common task, but in the past, it would have been a real pain to do that. You would have had to use a combination of filters and maybe even do some manual work to get the data you need.
Right. You'd have to make a whole separate tab and everything.
Exactly. So it would take a lot of time and it would be very prone to errors. But with the filter function, you can do all of that in a single formula.
Oh, really? Wow.
It's super powerful.
Okay, so walk me through that. What does that look like?
Sure. So let's say your customer data is in columns A, B, and C. And let's say column B is the region and column C is the sales amount. And you want to find all the customers who are from region A and who have spent over $10,000.
Okay, yeah.
The formula would look something like this. Filter AC, BB, region A, CC 10,000.
Whoa. Okay, so you can put two conditions in the same formula?
Exactly. You can combine as many conditions as you want, and the filter function will just automatically pull out the rows that meet all of those conditions.
So it's looking at both the region and the sales amount at the same time.
Exactly.
Wow. I mean, that is way more efficient than anything I've ever done in Excel.
Right. It's amazing.
And it's all in one formula.
Yeah, and the best part is that it's super clear and easy to understand what the formula is doing. You don't have to be an Excel expert to read that formula and figure out what's going on.
So even a beginner could use that and understand what they're doing.
Exactly.
That's amazing. Okay, that's filter. What about some of the other ones?
Okay, so let's talk about unique.
Yeah, unique.
So the unique function is really cool because it lets you extract a list of unique values from a range of data.
Okay.
So let's say you have a list of customer names in column A, and there might be some duplicates in there because some customers have made multiple purchases.
Okay.
If you want to get a list of just the unique customer names, you can use the unique function. And the formula would be really simple. It would just be unique A.
Okay, so that's all it takes.
That's it. And that will just give you a list of all the unique customer names in column A.
Wow, that is so much easier than what I've been doing. Because before I would have to like sort the whole column and then go through and like delete every single duplicate manually.
Right, and that takes a lot of time. And it's really prone to errors because you might accidentally delete a row that you didn't mean to delete.
Exactly, I've totally done that before.
Yeah, so the unique function is a huge time saver.
Wow. So we've got filter and unique.
And actually, you can combine unique with other functions to do even more powerful things.
Really?
So, for example, you could combine unique with the sort function. So let's say you want to get a list of all the unique customer names in column A, but you want that list to be sorted alphabetically.
Right, yeah.
You could use a formula like sort unique A, and that will give you a sorted list of all the unique entries in column A.
Wow, so you can like chain them together.
Exactly.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so the possibilities are pretty much endless. You can combine these functions in all sorts of different ways to get the results you need.
Wow. I'm like, my mind is blown right now thinking about everything I could do with this.
I know, it's really exciting.
Okay, so now that we've kind of seen how these functions work in isolation and how they can work together, let's think about some real-world applications. So I know the source mentioned that dynamic arrays can be really helpful for teachers.
Yes, definitely.
Like they were talking about how it can help with things like calculating grades and tracking student performance. How would that actually work?
Yeah, so let's imagine that you're a teacher and you have a spreadsheet with all of your students' names and their scores on various assignments. And you want to be able to quickly calculate averages and rank students based on their performance.
Right, yeah.
In the past, you would have had to use a lot of different formulas and maybe even do some manual calculations to do that. But with dynamic arrays, you can do all of that with just a few simple formulas.
Really? Wow.
So, for example, you could use the average function to calculate the average score for each student. And then you could use the rank function to rank the students based on their average scores.
Okay, so you could like see who's at the top of the class and who's struggling.
Exactly. And you could do that instantly. As soon as you enter the grades, the rankings will just automatically update.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah. And you could also use dynamic arrays to highlight trends over time. So you could see which students are improving and which students are falling behind.
Okay, so you can basically track their progress throughout the whole semester.
Exactly. And all of this can be done with just a few simple formulas.
Wow, so this is like way beyond just like basic spreadsheet stuff. This is like next level analysis.
It is. And it's all thanks to dynamic arrays. They really do make Excel a much more powerful tool for analysis and data visualization.
Yeah, because I can see how this would be helpful not just for teachers, but for anyone who works with data like in a business setting.
Oh, absolutely.
Like what kind of things could you do in a business setting with this?
Yeah, so let's imagine you're a sales manager and you have a spreadsheet with all of your sales data for the past year.
Okay.
And you want to be able to quickly analyze that data to see which products are selling the best, which regions are performing the strongest, and who your top performing sales reps are.
Right, yeah, that's like key information.
Exactly. And you could do all of that really easily with dynamic arrays. So for example, you could use the unique function to extract a list of all the unique products that you sold in the past year. And then you could use the sumas function to calculate the total sales for each product.
Okay, and then you can like compare them side by side.
Yes, exactly. And you could see right away which products are your best sellers.
That's really cool.
Yeah. And you could also use the filter function to filter your sales data by region or by sales rep. So you could see which regions are generating the most revenue and who your top performing sales reps are.
Okay, so this is like way more than just like simple calculations. You can actually get some real insights from your data using this.
That's right. And that's the real power of dynamic arrays. They allow you to unlock the hidden insights in your data and make better decisions for your business.
Yeah, it's like Excel suddenly became a lot smarter.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay. So I think our listeners are probably starting to see the potential of dynamic arrays. It's not just about making things easier. It's really about opening up a whole new world of possibilities in Excel.
Definitely.
So to sum it up for everyone listening, dynamic arrays are a game changer for Excel. They bring power, efficiency, and a whole new level of clarity to your spreadsheets.
Yeah, they really do.
So here's a final thought for you all to consider. Now that you've seen what dynamic arrays can do, what seemingly impossible spreadsheet task might you be able to tackle now? Go explore these new functions and see what amazing things you can achieve. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of dynamic arrays.
Thanks for having me. It's been fun.
It's been great.
Yeah.